Bote Tulenzo Lapangi, Manfo again over here, introducing you to the fifth module. And tonight we're going to talk about um, how distributed ledger technology can replace traditional bookkeeping record methods. And again, sometimes I feel as if I'm repeating myself too much, given that we've seen some of these concepts. But let's run through them quickly just to refresh our minds before we move on to the next, the sixth module, which I think is more interesting in terms of new concepts. So, in a general way, um, distributed ledger technology will remove the concept of central authorities. Um, when I look at the local context of Africa, and if we think about something like currencies, um, they are totally controlled in the sense that a currency, which is one of the most important tools in life, unfortunately, in contexts in which we live, um, the power is actually in the hand of a few authorities that control, the majority of the transactions that happen between all the players in the communities. So, what distributed ledger technology will do with the established traditions and convention is it will gradually remove the need of a central controlling authority. These central authorities tends to be single points of failure because the more uh, they grow in size and in processing power, and the more they are exposed, given that they are alone holding or managing a great number of transaction, uh, which means if they fail, the whole system will fail. So this will then translate into power being pushed to the edges. Once we remove or once central authorities and there are single points of failure are removed, the power will be pushed toward the edges, which are the end users. And this just makes sense because nowadays we have phones that are so powerful, and all most of the time what we do with them is things that are not like really helping the community to advance. So it would be great to see those phones, Androids and OS phones, put in use for such an important thing, maybe being part of a process of validating transactions. Uh, that doesn't happen today. If I take a specific example of Orange Money, the players in this network are going through a central authority, which is Orange. And they have no say. So what about we could exchange and have like a platform, blockchain, Orange blockchain, or maybe another name? That would be really interesting. So the next point is, we are dealing with real-time data sharing. It happens instantly in a matter of a few seconds or nanoseconds, which is not the case in traditional bookkeeping, which sometimes is slow because it's paper-based and so on. So definitely, this is something that distributed ledger technology, one aspect that distributed ledger technology is overtaking. The next point is definitely this trio, transparency, consistency, and security that we definitely get for free just by understanding how data is structured, how it moves around, and how it's hashed and encrypted. Makes it in such a way that we get these three characteristics for free. Trust and real sense of ownership is, the last thing that we can think of that will, uh, bring a solution to some of the headaches that local communities have about, like, the central authorities they're dealing with. Uh, Once you have your money on those platforms in central authorities servers, the level of trust you have depends on the level of accountability that the central authority has, and the level of ownership you have is same thing. So yeah. So next, we're gonna run very quick through these three, aspects, just to focus more a bit on how DLT will replace traditional uh, bookkeeping methods. In its definition, distributed ledger technologies is really about putting down an infrastructure and a set of protocols to allow people to exchange simultaneously. Oh, if I can get that right. Um, it comes with an agreement uh, on a validation algorithm, uh, consensus on how we, uh, collect the transactions, validate them, and persist them somewhere. So, and this comes with so many advantages that we already went through. Um, Now, a shared ledger, which is what we don't have in centralized system. We have one entity, whether that's a central bank or a uh, phone company and so on, operating in the field of mobile money. They only have access to the ledger. But in this case, what DLTs is bringing, which is a big paradigm shift, is that the community, meaning the actors that are playing, can have access to this shared ledger. Lastly, it's really a shift in the locus of control. The user becomes the real owner of his data here, in the sense that when you look at the powers in place with the context that we have right now, the user doesn't really have a say. Uh, but with distributed ledger technologies, pushing processing power to the edges, pushing, more control to the edges, put the user in a very interesting position where he, regain ownership of his data and whatever value he produces. I just want to highlight that this comes with a lot of responsibility as well on the part of the user, and you know, uh, this usually translate into having to take care of, like, manage your wallets and private keys, secret keys to access those wallets, and that could be something that some people are very happy to drop it in the hands of a central authority. So that concludes our fifth module, I believe, and I'm looking forward to moving on to the next module. But before that, let's take a break and uh, come back in a few minutes. Oh, by the way, before we do that, let's just introduce very quick the next module. I think it's really interesting. This is our sixth module into this journey, and we're going to talk about specific data structures and different models that we see out there when it comes down to distributed ledger technologies. See you there.